Let's talk to Alpha Node. Tendrils of intrigue. Alpha Node is eager to hear Elbert's report on the Ivy. Captain Albert, your report, if you will. Aye, Commander. Firstly, with regard to the heretic we captured, I regret to say that the man could not tell us naught that we did not already know of Shiva. We have since handed him over to the Ishgardian authorities. Henceforth, the Holy See will pursue the matter independently. Our inquiries concerning the Ivy, however, have proven more fruitful. We have ascertained the channel by which the heretics acquired their information on the shipment routes. Go on. You recall the flame we first identified as being the Ivy's employ. From him, we have able to trace a trail of conspirators, each taking us closer to his master. Alas, the trail came to an abrupt end, fearing that the investigation has been compromised. We took the necessary steps to detain all suspects of conspiracy. There we have 5 on our list, including a flame stationed at Reverend's Toll. The man's primary duty was to keep inventory of donations from abroad, the particulars of which he would have shared with benefactors, thereby ensuring that needs did not go unfulfilled. By the virtue of his role, he was privy to all the details of the shipments bound for the settlement. Needless to say that it included those originated from the House Four Toms. He knew the precise route the caravan would take, and he sold that information to a merchant. I think I can guess which one. None other than the little encouragement he soon confessed to knowing and aiding and abetting the heretics. Well, that is one mystery solved, at least, but what of Ivy? What of the Ivy? Are we any closer to praising off his mask? I dare say we are, Commander. Our relentless pursuit has forced him to commit a grave error. In despite bid to uncover his tracks, the Ivy resorted to exercising certain administrative powers available only to high-ranking members of the Immortal Flames. If you consider them that our investigation is known to barely a handful of them, the field of suspects is greatly narrowed. You mean to say that the agent is among the Ramban's inner circle? Someone who has been with him since the Immortal Flames establishment? 'Tis the most plausible explanation. The invitation likely occurred during the company's founding, with the groundwork for the act of being laid beforehand. To slip into a position of authority unmarked and remain above suspicion for all these years. I too was surprised, though I really should not have been. All 3 Grand Companies, although I was ever the more vulnerable to infiltration. Both Lumsmillens and Gordani had long-standing armed forces that lent themselves well into the formation of the Maelstrom and the Order of the Twin Adder. To all intents and purposes, it was the same people, loyal ones, mind under the same leadership, only the banner was different. Not so the Flames. All this military was made up of different orders, most of which was glorified mercenaries companies that answered only to their own paymasters. Hardly is an ideal environment in which to establish something as high-minded as a Grand Company. It's difficult Raban faced when founding the Immortal Flames was well known. Even after he convinced his fellow syndicate members to share the cost, there remained the small matter of finding enough bodies to fill the ranks. Indeed, and given the pressing nature of the imperial threat, that meant recruiting every past or sellsword. Amidst the chaos of its founding, it would have been child's play to infiltrate the company. Good ideal, easier than now, eh? The Immortal Flames have never been caught between conflicting interests, the public and the private. Though the monarchists ultimately agreed to support the organization's founding, it was not out of charity that they did so, but simply self-preservation. Had Neil van Darnus' ambitions being any less apocalyptic, you may well be sure that they would have never have risked supplying Wellbound with an army. To it, but I wonder why they did not attempt to establish the flames the moment the danger had passed. Returning to the present. Even as we speak, the Dome and allies are shadowing several high-ranking flames, any one of them who could be the Ivy. Daring to deal a blow against the Empire, the refugees were eager to lend us their aid. I expect to hear from them ere long. Very good. Pray continue investigation with the first. Meanwhile, have the second attend to the other rest, and the third join the fourth in expecting the crystal shipments. If they notice anything unusual, I want to know about it. If Shiva is summoned in the like manner to the other primals, the heretics will looking to further supplies. Understood, Commander. I shall send word to Sir Emmerich informing him of our success in identifying the heretics' abettors. Hopefully the information will be some use to the Ishgardians. Is it time, Commander? Yes, I am aware. Emergency councils of the Alliance leaders have been called. These have been developments in Garlemald, it would seem. The commander of the Christmas Berries, my presence has been requested. It would have you accompany me, Violet, as the realm's strongest champion. It's only the meet that you were present in the discussion. Oh, and the incident has already been given her consent, lest you worry. Like me, you are doubtless eager to conclude our business with the Iceheart, but until another path to her sanctum is found, she will remain beyond our reach. Mithrian and the Archons are sparing no effort in securing an alternative route until such time as they succeed, unless we give some thought to the realm's other problems. I shall go ahead to Gridania and in the readiness of the coming council. Meet at the Inifrius altar, and we shall make our way to the Lotus Stand together. Okay. Oh, there he is. My thanks for coming, Violet. When you're ready, speak with the conjurer yonder, and she'll show us to the Lotus Stand. Okay? The Alliance leaders await you at the Lotus Stand. Will you be joining them now? Yes.
Change has come to the Garlean Empire, and we must discuss the implications.
The rumors are true, then? The War of Succession is ended?
It is. A new emperor reigns in Garlemald.
Who?
The birth and all too rapid expansion of the Garlean Empire is commonly attributed to the strategic brilliance of Solus Zosgalvis, yet he did not rule alone. Several members of the royal household also distinguished themselves during his reign. Nevertheless, it was the eldest son who stood to inherit the throne, until his most untimely passing.
I thought us fortunate when I learned that the Emperor had died without naming a successor.
Would that the Garlean Empire had died with him.
'Twas the grandson and his uncle who had the strongest claims, was it not?
Indeed, yet claims count for little without the power to assert them. High Legatus Varus Galvus is a respected military leader. Not so his uncle.
So young Varus has torn the crown from his uncle's grasp and taken his place at the head of the Empire.
Given the troubled nature of his succession, the new emperor will require time to seal his grip on power. Yet have no doubt but that he shall, for there are none left with strength enough to oppose him.
Since the success of Operation Archon, the remnants of the 14th Legion and the forces occupying Alamigo have done naught but fortify their positions. But you can be sure they'll be ready to march on us again, if their Emperor gives the word.
When, not if. They say this Varus was so set upon Eorzean annexation that he spoke out against the Meteor Project.
Plainly, the new emperor's intentions are of great concern to us all. I propose that we set aside the Cartno dispute for the present, and discuss what measures the Alliance might take to prepare for a resumption of hostilities with Garlemald. Moreover, I move that we re-examine the question of how our former allies in Ishgard might be persuaded to retake their place at our side. Could Eorzea but stand as one, 'twould deal a grave blow to our enemies' ambitions.
Well, I suppose we should be grateful that they have finally acknowledged the inevitability of Imperial attack. Who knows? They may even do something about it. If only the leaders of Ishgard would follow their example and stop hiding behind their gates, praying for the coming storm to pass them by. But that is a discussion for another time. At present, I am more concerned by the fact that the Alliance's mooted preparations will be made known to the Garleans many moons before their coming. So long as the ivy eludes our grasp, no secret is safe.
Okay, let's go speak to Alphnode again. It would not have escaped your notice that the nations of Eorzea are no nearer to being of one purpose. Despite their protestations to the contrary, plainly the threat of resurgent Garlemald is not enough to stir them. And the reason for this? Deep-rooted mistrust amongst the citizenry. The nation's leaders can come to all the understandings they like, but their unity means little unless to the common folk. Take the Linsmans, for instance. Though the Admiral Murbib outlawed privacy over a decade ago, foreigners still picture the nation as a haven for grog-swilling, wood-legged cutthroats. Likewise, the Gordanians are mocked for hermits who talk to trees, and the Odans scorned as swindlers who worship coin. Not that such sentiments are entirely without grounds, of course. Take that pillars of old our society, Tledgely, for example, but that is besides the point. The fact that people are wary of outsiders, whether they have cause to be or not. On the basis, one could argue that the conflict of Carthage is a necessary evil. Each nation has its own warmongering faction that advocates the extinction of Omega. In order to persuade them, we present them something resembling warfare, and thereby curb their appetite for full-scale conflict. But enough idle musing. Let us speak of a more pressing matter, the Ivy. Since we spoke of the observatory, Captain Arbor has further shortened his list of suspects, and by happily coincidence, one of them seems to be the most likely candidate, and is likely come to Gridania. The hunt nears its end, Violet. All that remains is to corner our quarry. Seek out Albert near the Adder's Nest, and he will give you the particulars. Should there be any developments on Corypheus, you be sure that I will send word without delay. In the meantime, I wish you success in operating the Ivy. Okay, let's go to Tornado. My thanks for coming, Scion. Doubtless the commander has informed you, but we have unmasked the Ivy. From this point on, we must proceed with extreme caution. Chasing Ivy. Albert is convinced that he has discovered the Ivy's identity and is prepared to move against the Guardian spy. Listen well, the spy we have been seeking all this time is none other than Flame Marshal Ling Mosno, Ralban's second in command. Prior to joining the Imperial Flame, she is the mercenary of no small renown. They say her skill with a polearm had to be seen and to be believed. Of Ishgard birth, she is highest ranking foreigner in the Imperial Flames, bearing the Flame General himself, of course. When he informed that the Grand Company Ralban chose people based on their worth, whence they held was of no interest. The monarchists saw things differently, however. Having funded the enterprise, they reserved the right to reject candidates nominated for higher ranking positions. And it was no secret that they did not favor foreigners, Ishgardings especially, after the way the Holy See forsook the alliance. Yet the monarchists did not rise so much as to a murmur of protest when Rosie was appointed to her post. Passing strange, is it not? Could it be that the Ivy has some hold over the monarchists? But the revelations are secondary to our current mission. Our foremost interest to us is Rosalie's presence here now. As you may be aware, it is that the duty of the Flame Marshal to command the immortal flames in the absence of the Flame General. While Brown attended the Council of Alliance leaders, she should have remained in the Hall of Flames. The woman has business in Gridania, and yet she is nonetheless of some pretense. She is up to something. Mark my words. Even as we speak, I have a dozen men strolling the Flames records for evidence of Rosalie's guilt. But if we can catch her red-handed, we shall have all the proof we need. Which brings me to the plan. I have people watching the city's gates, the airship landing and the docks, every point of egress. She cannot leave without our knowledge. All that remains is to shadow her until she betrays her true purpose. Can I rely on your eyes, Sion? Of course. You have my thanks. Let us go, then, and take care of not to alert our quarry. Speak with Albert. He's up there. Rosie is headed to the direction of the Blue Badger Gate. With me, Sion. Oh, going the wrong way. So Rose has entered the Caroline Company, meeting someone perchance? Or could it be that it means to board an airship? Pray look for her within. If she's not on the upper floor, try landing area below. One of mine is stationed there. She may have seen something and may have seen her name. I shall remain here in case Ronnie reappears. But have been such an unexpected pleasure. What brings you here? A social visit, you say? How pleasant. No, she didn't come this way. I've known every passion and none bore any resemblance. Well, don't let me to keep you. Nowhere to be seen, you say? And you have sure that she did not board an airship? She did not come back out either. Where in the Seven House could she be? I've gone. The roost. How could I forget? Greetings, good sir. Might I introduce you some mung and tonic? A cup of a day imbues a man with great vigor. If you take my meaning. Perhaps another time, friend. Wait, that necklace. You are Shinobi Oduma. That woman you seek has left Gridania by the way of West Shore Pier. She attended the merchant, but these eyes are not so easy deceived. You may wish to take your search in the East Stride. Rest assured that we shall continue to support you from the shadows. Thanks to the 12 of the Domans. Were it not for their unique talents, Rosalie would have been disappeared without a trace. In Flagmeet de la Cour, Albert is eager to resume the pursuit of Eileen Rosalie. Our hunt leads to the East Drive Sion. I suggest we follow Rosalie's example and take the ferry from West Shirkport. You'll doubtless wish to make certain preparations to see them while I go. Go on ahead, and I shall wait for you at Sweet Bloom Pier. I'll just teleport there and go over. This way, my friends. Your quarry makes for half-formed hut. If Rhodey is truly the one we seek, we can expect that she means to make contact with her Gridanian masters there. An expedition is in order. You are no doubt aware that the Guardians have their own method of communicating over great distances, while our insurgent friends of Garland Ironworks have provided us with devices which disrupt these communications. We can have installed them around the city-states. In doing so, we have made it very difficult for Imperial's agents to correspond with their masters. Rose would thus have no choice but to run with their Imperial contact directly, and yet, as well-known face of Imperial flames, she cannot move without being recognized. It would only be a matter of time before someone saw through her disguise. For this reason, I believe she chosen the Black Stride for her chance meeting. The Elsin are a common sight here, and her comings or goings are not like to turn any heads. As for my scouts, they said it, that the Guardians have sent agents with a mind to destroy the device and render such direct contact unnecessary. Fortunately, our shinobi have thus far been successful in rebuffing their efforts. This is it. We have only make for Riven Hut and catch Rhodey in the act. And off we go. My people report that our quarry has departed for Rumble's patch. Now returns to Gore's whence she came, but perhaps it's all for the better. To convict someone of her standing will require damning evidence against her, which could be better than to catch her in the act when she meets with her Garden Masters. My countrymen and I shall lie in wait in the shadows. Tread warily, my friends. Okay, off we go. Just beyond, Rosalie is in a conversation with an individual clad in a manner of an adventurer. An Imperial emissary, no doubt. This is it, with me. Flame Marshal Lenin and Rosalie, you are under arrest for treason and espionage. You were followed, you bloody fool. Damnation. Surrender if I were you. You are unarmed, my lady, and scarcely garbed in for battle. If you wish to fight, you are welcome to try. What is the meaning of this, Captain? Would you arrest me for strolling in the 12th Wood? When last I looked, that was no crime, and neither was conversing with a passing strangers. You would feign ignorance, then. Well, very well. If you do think of something to say, there will be plenty of time to say it later. Now come quietly, or I shall make you wish you had. I offer you no struggle. After all, I have naught to hide. Yugiri? Even a warrior of Rosany's renown could not have helped to escape by force. Despite her claims, her surrender does not assert innocence, but an unawareness that her position is untenable. With the ivy thus uprooted, it has to be hoped that the tendrils she entwined around the immortal flames will gradually wither and die. Maybe then the people of Order will have the grand camp that they deserve. Let us speak of the present. If I may ask, what will you do now, Valet? So the Scions seek a way to Ice's Sanctum. Then I dare say you are eager to return to the Rain Stone. Pray, do not let me to keep you. Fear not. My country and I shall tend to the aftermath. You need not waste your talents here. And speaking of talents, have you considered training in the art of the shinobi? You have an aptitude for it. I believe so. Please give it some thought. Until next time, my friend. Let's go back to the Rising Stones. Tartary's having fun. Welcome back, Violet. I understand that Alfred had a task for you. May I ask what it was? Charges of treason and espionage against Lean Risley? I can scarce believe it. Could there not have been some manner of misunderstanding? No, it avails us not to dwell on it. Wherever the truth may be, we must trust that the authorities will uncover it. Let us speak to another matter. I'm pleased to report that we have made progress in our efforts to find a way into Ice's Sanctum.